Well, I am loving being here. This is going to be great. Welcome to, we have a laugh and learn and a magic tool talk about corn husk dolls.
Yay.
So,
Ooh, Rossi.
and I am joined by Diana, also known as Oil Painter, also known as Wonder Woman, and Angela Cardamancy Mesquite. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
I'm Tarot Stash. Thanks for being here. And
I thought it was Twillo Stash.
oh, that's for the third, the second Mondays of the month. Yes. So, and as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. And so I'm also going to remind everybody to please give this video a thumbs up.
Yay.
And
I like that thumb.
I do too. You know, it's the perfect time of the year. Use it through, honoring the ancestors. So, so everybody, thumbs up. And when this video gets posted on Diana's channel, please make sure that you leave a comment there, because we're simulcasting on Angela's channel and my channel. So it's great to be here.
Yes,
so I'm going to take a breath, and I am Diana.
Yes.
Let everybody know who the heck you are and what you're bringing to the table today.
Oh, all right. I am, well, y'all know me as the queen of tribal dances, right?
Yep.
And I read Akashic records. I do mediumship, tarot, astrology, art. And today I am bringing the history of the corn doll.
Yes.
And what it means to, firstly, it was the Native Americans, but also what it means to the rest of the culture throughout the world, because word traveled fast. Come on.
I like that. I like that. And Angela Cardamancy Mesquite, what's up with you?
I'm getting ready for surgery coming up next month.
Okay.
But I'm still doing my playing cards on Saturday, and me and Diana are doing our oracle readings on Mondays.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know of any interruptions in the shows yet, so I really can't tell you anything on that. I'm getting my house put back together from the remodeling and getting ready for surgery.
Great. And you will be letting me know the details of the surgery so I can do some woo. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, listen to me. I'm doing woo all of the time, but when I know something that's going on, I can be much more specific with it. So
okay.
Okay. And we'll talk offline, of course. So again, I'm Tarot Stash, or I'm Tarot Stash. Coming soon. Coming soon. And I have had an amazing week this week. I'm doing this show with the two of you, and then I'm doing readings with Richie and Robert Fierro Tarot, Bobby.
Yay.
And then next week we go into an amazing week of more stuff, and I am thrilled to be. I'm working on some other shows for November, so it's really incredible. So, and so I want to say thank you to all of the people who are watching for being here. This isn't a show where we're doing readings. What we're doing is we are learning how to make corn husk dolls. So no readings today. So this is about corn husk dolls. But let me get caught up in the chat and see who's here, because we do have the best chatters. Moderators, please watch this one. Tarot Stash is a troublemaker. Leah is here. Hello. Rossi, great to see you.
I see.
Jonathan Daly. We have Russ Bob Barbara. And Rose Blue is changing my truck battery. That's going to take a couple of hours. So, goodness. Maureen is here. Hello. I am having a great day. And Bora Bora is
Hey,
here.
Hi,
And
Blueberry.
and then Reese is here. Reese Simpson. Hello. Denise Fletcher Tarot is here. Hello, Denise. Welcome back. Jenny Berlin. Hooray. Viviani is here, and Viviani is one of the triad who does the Akashic Adventures on Tuesdays.
That's
with
right.
Linda Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So there you go. And Medium Betsy Palmer is here. I'm actually seeing. I mean, I will have the Betsy on Tuesday again with me. I'm like freaking thrilled. So Kimby just finished paying for parking. So this is good. Risa is here. I don't know if I missed them. Jenny Berlin said, "Oh, cool," when they found out what we were doing. So, and all right. Yes. Good luck, Angela. From
Thank
Jenny
you.
Berlin. And hello, Bora Bora. Bora Bora is doing the thing where she's going between channels.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hashtag overachiever. We love that. Why, yes. Yes, I am handsome. You got to be confident.
For sure. For sure.
Yes. Okay. So T. Lynn has arrived. Andrea Galvin is here. Sue Toffee is here.
Hey.
And this is wonderful. So, okay. So, Mother Nature is here. Hello. Nobody on an oil painter page, not simulcast. We're working on that. There's a learning curve there.
And you know, that's my fault. I forgot to cancel that. I was I was able to schedule a live stream, but that's not what I was trying to do.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Going back and forth, trying to do live with you.
Mhm.
I forgot to take it off. So please, I apologize, everybody. But when I can download this, I'll put it over there as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Midnight Apothecary and Bakery is here. Hello.
I love that name.
Yes, yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. So,
I'm coming in
yeah,
for my
Leo was
nighttime
coming.
dreams.
So, okay. Hello, Lisa Salvo. Okay, so I could continue to go on and on. Andrea loves learning new crafts. In the old days, and knew how to do voodoo dolls. Moved to higher vibration dolls are powerful tools. Yes. And Cheryl is here. Lori Huntsinger. So lots of people are here. So let's all. Okay. So, and I think Sue Toffee. Anyhow. So let's talk about. Okay. First of all, I've got an overlay that I can show people.
Okay.
This is what we are making. You get a spotlight into Diana's crafting space and kitchen.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to be making. But go ahead and share a little bit more about this, and I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
Okay. Hi.
So
you got to remember that corn did not grow in Europe on the other side of the earth. It did not grow there. It grew on this hemisphere. Just like we did not have tomatoes. Tomatoes were brought here by the people that came from Europe.
Yes.
Well, when the people from Europe got here, they absolutely fell in love with these corn dolls. And so they took the corn back and the corn dolls, and the corn dolls, the making of them had become a Celtic ritual for Lammas.
Mhm.
Now, let's go back to the Native American and what their reasoning was.
Okay.
There's a few different ways to tell this story, but the three sisters are a part of this. The three sisters are corn, beans, and squash. They were the mainstays, and corn and squash did not grow in Europe.
Okay.
And some of the tales say that creator Wakantanka was the one who created the first corn doll.
Mhm.
And then some, like the Ojibwa Anishinaabe, they say that it was the corn sister. At any rate, she had children, and she made this doll out of corn husks to keep her children safe, for her to watch over them and play with them. She also made her very beautiful. So on the first day that she was supposed to go and take care of the children and keep them happy and watch over them and play with them, she saw her reflection in a river. And she stayed there all day and looked at her reflection. And then she got home, and the princess said, well, why didn't you take care of my children? Well, I had to look at myself. I'm so beautiful. I had to look in the river and notice my reflection. So she said, okay, take a rest, and then we'll do this again tomorrow. But you must go to take care of the children and be their guardian and play with them. They will love you. Well, the second day came, and the same thing happened. She saw her reflection in the water, and that was the end of it. She just sat there looking at herself. I'm so beautiful. I'm so beautiful.
Okay.
So it went on day after day for a week or so. And the corn goddess said, enough of this. And she performed a little magic. The next day, when the corn doll woke to do her chores, she had no face. She had no eyes. And traditionally, when you get a Native American doll, there are no eyes. There is no mouth, no nose, no face. Now, the Celtic, all the European settlers, as they arrived, they latched onto that. They loved the grain of corn and the fact that you could eat it boiled as well and make it into a mash.
Sure.
And oh, by the way, sure did make some good whiskey, which they had before in the form of barley and potatoes.
Right.
But now they could add corn to the mixture, right? So it started to grow. And most Europeans look at it as, when the corn is harvested, you are taking it, any grain actually, you are taking it away from its original home. And you are bringing it into your house to keep it safe. So you create this doll, which in turn puts guardianship, just as the corn doll for Native American, puts guardianship on your livestock, on your fields, be they empty or with other things, on the family living within, keeping the hearth warm, keeping fuel and food through the winter. And then what you're supposed to do in the spring is give it back to the earth, to put it in the soil as you go to plant your next. So if you dress it up and you don't use natural ingredients that can just go back to Mother Earth, take your little dolly clothes off, save them for the next year, and then have a go at burying these in the ground. When we get to the beginning of spring, when we get to Ostara, that would be a good way to consecrate your earth, whether you're growing crops to eat or flowers or planting a bush. You know? So that's how we get started with all of this. So it is about intention.
Yes.
And corn husks come in a variety of colors, just like the 189 varieties of corn that there are. There's a beautiful red one that I'm loath to use because they're hard to get, right? In this neck of the woods. But, and anybody ever thought blue corn chips weren't blue, trust me, they're blue.
They're blue. Yes. All right. I'm going to say B said hello. So excited for this. I made mine in August. I wish I could send you a photo. And Janet DC said, where did Diana go? Fun. I'm here a little late, so I just rolled back 5 minutes on the TV so I can listen from the beginning. And it's good to see you. And and Janet said, I just cleared my fire hearth yesterday. I'm going to add Diana back into the mix there. And so, yes, this is fun. We are going to actually show you how to make it. And Leah did share earlier, I have little dolls from Guatemala.
Oh, yeah. Dream
Yes.
dolls, the little baby wish dolls.
Yes. And Mother Nature said, my great aunt and grandma did these, but died before I learned how. So excited to be here. These are wonderful little processes. They're great little things. Amanda is here. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you. And so I think it's they're about 2 inches high and very colorful, Leah said.
Yes. Yeah. They're supposed to, you put them under your little pillows and it takes the nightmares away.
Yes. Yes. And so these wonderful tools and these stories, they start somewhere, and then they get incorporated into many, many different things. So, so there's a wide variety of things. So, and Rossi said Dominican Republic has ceramic dolls without a face.
Yay.
And Andrea said thousands of years ago, before the great land split, tribes, Celtic and indigenous tribes, and what is now North America, they traveled to each other's lands. They exchanged stories, music, drums, and dolls. So, so this is wonderful. So intention is very important. In my tradition, oftentimes these are done for the first harvest festival, which is Lammas in August. Right. So
now I make them and set them out as table favors for each of my guests to take one home for Thanksgiving or Halloween. I'm doing a Halloween dinner this year too, so they'll probably have them for Halloween.
Very nice.
And I buy corn husks, corn stalks to decorate outside. So the corn I'm using has come off of those stalks. And that keeps my neighborhood squirrels and ravens and blue jays very happy during the winter. And it makes great kindling, especially when a cob is empty of corn, even if the corn is still on it. This is just feed corn. But even though there's stuff on it, you can throw it in there and it'll help ignite that fire.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So that's usually the first fire of the year.
So, Amanda's like, on Diana, that's cool. So let's, I've got some pictures. So this is what we're making. And Diana, you can tell people, let me remove that banner. Sure. You can tell people about these photos, the left one and the right one, if you want.
All right. So what I'm showing you is that it has a stem. So it depends on how it comes off the stalk. Sometimes you don't get a big long stem. Sometimes you do. And often the silk is still attached. Well, I hang on to the silk in case I want to get fancy and use it for anything from hair on the doll to a fuzzy kitten in their arms or something. And then I like to use the stem if it's nice and sturdy and straight. And even if it's not, just to keep it tucked inside and turn the husk leaves themselves backwards, flipping over that, using that for the form for the head and the armature for the body. Gives it a little extra stability.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one that I can show you how to break into it.
Okay.
And so this one doesn't have a very long stem, but it's already got a good coil in it. So that would make a head. That could be the
Yes.
base of a head, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you work gently, even though this is pretty dry, I'm going to soak it. They're very sturdy. They made sturdy toys. When you soak them and let them dry a second time, it's corn syrup.
Yeah.
Right? So it's its own glue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Midnight Apothecary and Bakery shared the silk also makes a medicinal tea if it's from the inorganic plant. So it's one of those things that you can find these if you've got farms. A lot of times they're up for decoration. You can also order corn husks from craft stores, things like that.
Yep, tamale husks.
So yes,
the grocery stores carry those. I'll show you how to do it with tamale husks also, because you won't have a stem and you won't have a cob. So my stem is deep in there. It's going to be the head, and off it comes. Right
there you go.
Now, before I can do anything more with this, I have to let it soak in the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's activating its own glue, if you will.
Yes.
So while that one's soaking, I have one here that I will take apart to show you how to make one without keeping the stem.
Okay.
Now, they're not tamales, so I'm going to pull them off. And I'm going to have to
there's a
trim
question.
them.
Hot or cold water? Hot or cold water?
It starts with hot, but that's going to cool off.
Yeah.
Once they start to get wet, and it's just a matter of getting it wet. I like the little flaws that Mother Nature put there. I don't care about the dirt. I think that that's all good. So what I'm going to do is, after I pull these apart, because they are not as thick as, or as wide rather, as a tamale husk, it's only because they trimmed them, which is what you're going to want to do, is so that that opens up more comfortably.
Okay.
Because you're going to wrap a nut. You can use anything. You can use a styrofoam ball, but I'm going to use, I have a couple of, I have some small avocado pits. That would make a great head.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have a very round, and I cannot remember what the name of this nut is. It starts with a K. It's not koala.
Okay.
I cannot remember. But I like this little tiny, and sometimes you can just dry these out and they start to shrink. They get this small. But this one came out this size. So the first thing,
you can also ball up some of these corn husks to wrap around and to have it as a ball.
Exactly.
You won't want to use styrofoam if you're wanting to recycle.
Right. And you can
Is it a kua nut?
Yeah, something like that. Exactly.
Thank you, Jonathan.
I had a branch filled with them, and I had a couple on there that hadn't. You want to just be able to get it to do that, right?
Okay.
All right. So for the beginning, we're going to take 4 of them. Let's get one more here. And you want to get it just so you cut off where it's already gathered together.
And
I
by the way, everybody, I did not have corn husks. And so I'm actually going to be using some recycled craft paper and tissue paper for mine.
So it has a natural concave to it. right? And boat
Mhm.
fashion to it. So you're going to take 2 of them and place them inside of each other. So it's a canoe.
Mhm.
And then you're going to take another 2 and place them inside of each other like it's closing a box.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. So there's 2 this way and 2 on top, like just like a banana peel.
Okay.
And you're going to get them as close together in size as you can and just start gathering them together.
Okay.
You want to ruffle it a little bit as if it is and squish it tight as you can so that you really, they're layered together, but you want them to be tight because what you're going to do, let's go to this twine. You're going to want to come down about 1 inch. You're going to do some trimming, so give yourself some room so that you can have an even top. And wrap it a couple of times so you can get it really nice and tight. Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's the laugh part of this live and learn.
Yes, this is an important part of the laugh and learn. You got to enjoy this while it's going on.
Right. Okay, let me do that again. It's better if I cut before I do that, I suppose.
Yeah. And so you're using a twine because
Yes.
again, you want to, part of it is you want to
Right.
give it back to Mother Nature, to the earth.
Right.
So you want to have everything be recycled. Yeah.
Or
Recyclable.
like this is a linen, which is what I did the other one in,
Mhm.
or cotton, or something that you wool, you can use wool,
Yes.
just so that you know that nature's gonna love the taste of it herself.
Yes.
So I usually give it a 2 or 3 wrap before I go and give a double knot, right?
Mhm.
And you're gonna pull as tight as you can.
Are you making one too, Angela?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not making one. I'm watching the chat because people are enjoying this. Somebody asked.
Oh, good.
Somebody said, could someone dye the husks?
Oh, you
I'm
can
sure
dye
you
the husk.
could.
Yeah, and here's what you know what? Saffron, turmeric,
Yep.
all the things in spices.
Mhm.
Like I make salves, my oils would be fantastic dyes if I just did it in a tea first. So anything you can make in tea, you can use as a dye, and that will go back to Mother Earth, no problem.
Yes.
You can beets. Ooh, beets would be nice
Yeah,
and red.
beets would be,
Yeah.
By the way, Hypnicity said, please tell Diana, thank you for my moisturizer.
Oh, you're welcome. I was wondering if you got it yet. Does it work? Do you feel good with it on?
And Midnight Apothecary and Bakery suggested old book pages could be used.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've got a craft, a Girl Scout craft for that when we get to making Christmas carolers and angels.
Beet juice, berry, this is great.
Okay, so you want to even this up. You don't want it to be too big, but these are not my best scissors, so I have to do it in stages. You don't want it to come apart, so you need it to be long enough to stay put. All right. There. We have 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Okay. Now, carefully flip it over.
Okay.
And start putting these around so that you can see where the head can form. You can be a little gentle, but don't worry. You're going to do a lot of trimming. Like I don't want those strings in there, so let me get.
And this is another reason that you want to make sure that you've moistened the corn husks.
Yeah.
Bye, Jonathan. Jonathan is getting ready for a show with the amazing Linda de Gonzalez.
Woo! And look what I just did. Oh my gosh. So I cut it too short. Somebody up there wants to make sure we laugh. When you flip it inside out, right?
You got to have it
make
deep
sure,
enough. Yeah.
Make sure you have 2 in the front and 2 in the back. And then if you're using a nut or whatever, you can put cotton in there. You can put watered up paper towel. I mean, I worry less about Mother Earth with paper because, it came from the earth unless it's been overly treated. So once you get that.
I did call and Linda actually answered. Linda's actually in the chat watching. So
is she?
Hi, Linda.
So I flopped with that because I only prepared enough to do that.
Okay.
So
well,
when you flip them over, that's when you put whatever you're going to shape the head with, and then you tie for the neck.
Okay, I may have a picture of that.
Yes, I think you do.
Okay, so there's that. There's that part of the process on the left there is you doing that, yes.
So where I've tied that tight, that is the part of that's going to be one of the arms on the left. That's showing you how to make the arms.
Okay.
So
is that too soon?
No, that's okay. So now I've taken the first 4 leaves and placed what is going to be in the arms at the aperture, right? Around that stem that I reserved.
Mm-hmm.
That is the bodice.
Okay.
And so the arms are going to go there because it's going to be. So
she froze. Okay. Okay.
Those leaves of your body. And then you tie for the waist.
Okay, you broke up a little bit there. So
okay.
When
you flip the leaves.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, okay, so we've got the head and we've turned the leaves and then we tie around to hold those, and that makes the head.
Yep. So this one has a stem in it, and I'm going to use that for this one just so you have a good idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because here it is in the center. Yes. And I'm just going to fold down what I want to be the bodice.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Now I've confused myself. All right. Obviously, there's many different ways you can make this.
And by the way, there are a lot of videos on YouTube about how to make corn husk dolls. So, you can, by the way, enjoy that wormhole because there's a lot of different things. So.
And so here is where I'm going to make the arms.
And now, how are you making the arms?
Well, again, you want 4 of them, but you're going to take 2 and go against each other like that. And you're going to do the same the other way so that it's equal, so that you have that fingers and wrist on both of them, right? And then you're going to put them so they're stacked together.
Yes.
And then you're going to start rolling them as tight as you can.
Okay. And you roll them up starting on the long side, not the short side.
Yes, exactly. On the long side, because you want that to be in the body. And you can see mine is not thin. Mine was sleeves. But both of them have an end that has the pointies as well as some flat.
I love that.
Now,
Yeah, that's great.
I like to tie a string through the center because that just gives a little stability while I'm trying to get the arms in place, right?
Gotcha.
And because we're using a natural twine, hemp twine, cotton, 100% wool yarn would work out nicely. Silk would work out great. So yes, Garnet, you're right. Creatively, this is art magic. So I would be curious as, when Diana comes back, Angela, you're in the hot seat. So I encourage people to think about how they might use this as part of your practice and setting intentions. And by the way, your intention could be, I'm going to make something pretty for the season.
Okay, I've got a real good intention with mine. My grandchildren are half Ojibwe, and they know nothing of their culture.
Ah.
So I'm going to start introducing it this way.
Very nice. Very nice. So, yeah. And we do want it to be biodegradable, Garnet. You're right. So,
the hand. Did you got me back?
Yes, you're back. You're back.
Okay. So, and tie on the other end, and then you're going
to. Okay, so here she comes back. Hold on. Hi, everybody. Please make sure that you're subscribing and you've liked the channel. So basically what Linda is saying what Diana is saying is you're going to have, for the arms, you're going to roll it up and then you're going to tie it in the center and then you're going to tie it at each end. So that's really the wrists.
Yes.
So, and see if we can get Diana back.
Right.
Leah, I did not make the quilt behind me. It was a gift.
You got me?
Yes, I hear you. There you go.
Oh.
You're back. You're back.
Shucks. Okay.
You're okay.
I'm sorry. I don't always have such a lousy connection here. But that's where we're trimming them, right?
And I want to say hello to Annie Bear, Standing in Light with Annie Bear 7F. This is wonderful to see you. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Right. All right.
So we have we have the arms.
Yep. And then you're going to want to put so that, I'm telling you, it couldn't get any worse, right?
Well, it could, but don't say
that. Right. I'll keep my mouth shut now. Okay.
So I think what you're doing is you are, because we had the 4 pieces that we started and that we wrapped around the piece of the head and we've tied the knot, or we've tied around it to create the head. You're separating those 4 pieces into 2 so that you can slide the arms up between those. Is that fair?
Right. Right. And I got to get these other pieces.
So, and then from there, I'm imagining that Diana is going to be tying another piece of twine to keep the arms in place.
Yes. So that will be your waistline.
Okay. So I think, I hope people see what's going on, and as we're creating this, and and sometimes if you don't move very quickly, you might have to put it back in water and,
Yeah.
moisturize it again, and that's okay.
Yep. So I've kept this piece on because it didn't want to come off, but it will smooth things out in the back of the head. Or maybe that will end up being the front of the head. I'll just tie another string around it.
Yep.
Because now, all right, I have created the waistline.
And I'm going to check to see if one of the pictures will actually show the waistline. There you go. In the right one, you'll see Diana's thumb is below the waistline. And above that, the arms are secured. So, okay. Thank you.
All right. So there's my waistline, right? Now, I don't have very many leaves on here. So just take them from your water and keep adding them. And because if you are using the thicker variety from trim them, because you need that water to go build up.
Okay, you broke up there for the
trunk,
second.
right?
When you pull them out of the water, do you cut the top so that they're flat and then you can go around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then start piling it up. And you want to try to do it kind of evenly, because some of this is going to be your stand, your armature, and they're going to help to keep the dolly standing.
Standing
and
up.
then the others that you have, you can, when we go to trim this, it's going to give more flair.
Sure.
I've seen some beautiful ones with curled bottoms on purpose, and you can really get into a bunch of different ways of putting these together for sure. You can put inside the bodice, you can put special tees to be using as like a puppet, magical herbs.
Sure.
Extra intention. I like to go one from the front, one to the back, just to try to keep it equal.
Can you show us your progress, Diana?
Sure.
Just because oh, thank you, Annie. Okay. I love that.
Okay. Now I'm going to tie. I'm going to tie the waist again, and then I'm going to trim off the excess bottom and start helping that shape. And if you want a bigger, wider skirt, then of course you stuff it with paper towel or anything that can help open it up, dry it out, and give it a base.
Amanda Carry-On asked, can you make an angel doll?
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can use the corn husks for your wings as well. In fact, in Mexico, there are a lot of straw ornaments.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Right?
Annie Bear said coffee dye would be my cup of tea. So, yes, definitely.
Okay, so I have a head and I have a waist, but I don't like this tight skirt. That's not normal. Especially, I mean, it's not like they were all full and dancing the barn dance, but I need it to splay open a little bit. Now, here is where you can rip a little, trim a little, rip a little, give yourself some fringe, like the bottom of a suede dress, a jingle dress. And all you have to do is tear.
Yep. And this is one of those things, having made some of these in the past, tear gently and slowly because
Yeah.
you don't know how dry it is.
Right.
And you don't want it to tear too far. So,
And once you get enough room that you can start spreading it from the inside, shove your fingers in there and start giving it some more room, like for the booty.
and you want to do, and you also want to do that because you're creating something to be able to stand it on.
Right.
So,
Because she'll stand on her own. This
yes.
guy, Belle, does stand on her own.
Yeah. Good night, B. Yeah, that's great. And be reminded, everybody, it's a great time to charge crystals tonight because of the full moon.
It sure is. Now, I have this piece left, and I'm just going to form this carefully to build the crown.
Okay.
Of the head. And I got to work with it because I do still have some of the stem in there. Right. Now, what am I going to do with this? Good question. I know I'm going to split it up the middle as best as I can.
I love this. This is exciting to watch you. Everybody sees me like looking really close on the camera. I'm totally want to do this, and I brought stuff to be able to make my own, but I'm really watching this and enjoying it because
good. Comedy of errors, right?
No. And Annie Bear says, "I see pink and green light around you, Diana."
Oh, thank you. Well, as this whole story is going for us.
Yes, Amanda. Right. Amanda asks, "I normally charge my crystals on a full moon. It's cloudy here. Will it still work?" Yes.
Yes. The moon is still up there, even if we can't see her.
Yep. Also moon water.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times for me, the energy of the full moon or the new moon is the day before, the day of, and the day after.
So. Yes. Oh, always a 3-day celebration, right?
Yep. Because I would be making corn dolls in sets of 3.
Yeah.
It's just me. So.
And there's no, you know what? There's no failure in this.
No.
Because you can do whatever you want. The dogs, one of my dogs, when Grizzly was a puppy, got after this one. So I took an old doily and cut it up and gave her a bonnet. I used stuff that's already got holes in it that I don't use. Gave her a bonnet, and now she stands on the stairs for Christmas caroling.
Oh, I love it. Angela, did you finish your doll?
I've got it this far. There's a little bit more to do.
Okay.
She's got to have, there's going to be a scarf over her, and then she'll have a shawl.
Keep holding that up for a second, Angela. I want to.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, man, that's a beauty.
And so
I'm
this
loving it.
Yeah, so you can see with Angela's, I mean, we have the head, and then we have tied, and then we actually allowed the arms to go through and then tied it for the waistline. So that's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Love it.
So, and all right, I'm going to put Diana back there in the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So.
Scare me.
Scare you. Listen to you. Nothing to be scared of. We're making, and this is a great thing is if you're doing this with family or children, you can do a little bit of research and find out, like Diana was talking about. There's great stuff on YouTube to where you can find stories. You can go to the library, and the librarians will help you find stuff. search the interwebs for reputable places. I think it's one of those things, there's an opportunity to learn and appreciate that which is different than what our traditions are.
Right.
And then also have the beauty of starting a new tradition. Because, you know, remember that we're making these now during the harvests, so that when when the wheel turns, we absolutely can really we can absolutely, you know, we could burn them in different you know, fire festivals to help recycle it. So
Right.
yeah.
All
And
right.
so
Let's go
J
here.
Cat Lady is here. Hello. Oh, and Janet Lee G said watercoloring them would be pretty.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That's another. Certainly. Which way do
Yeah,
I want to go?
definitely.
I guess we want to go this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Fold. So now I'm going to turn this into the traditional native shawl that would go over. So I've torn it as close to the middle as possible, and I'm going to fold the two into the center, and then I'm just going to lay it across, and I'll give it another tie.
Can you show us what you're doing before you tie it?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure I got my fingers on it.
No, I understand.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like that. And then I'm going to put a tie again at the waist.
Very nice. That's beautiful.
Well, and when she's dry, I'm going to use some Elmer's, because good old Elmer's ain't nothing but wheat paste and sour milk, and give her some hair.
And you're using the corn silk for that, because it's always a good idea to save the corn silk.
Yeah.
For this.
Yeah. I mean, there was not a single part of the corn that was not used. The grain or turned to mush, the silk to help start a fire, or for other things it would be twisted into twine. The corn husks themselves would be twisted and braided into rope. The corn cob would be a brush with all of the kernels out. And it would also be a stopper for a bottle.
Yeah.
And then, of course, people made pipes out of them.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, what's not to like?
Go
if you're smoking ganja.
And by the way, this is for entertainment purposes only. Diana's frozen, of course. Angela, I want to put you up. Can you show your work?
Yes. I've got her.
No history of that in my world.
There you go.
I've got her little, what do you want to call it, jacket on. And I've stuffed some paper towels up in the bottom. So she does stand already.
There you go. Love it.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so it's already there.
Yeah. I love that. And Annie Bear said I boil it and use that. And it makes a lousy hole filler. I can tell you, my 12-year-old self learned.
And I put her a little.
Oh, that's pretty.
To make it look nicer, you know, just to give it a little flair.
Yeah. Oh, we have an interesting question. Could this be considered knot work?
Yes, because you're putting knots into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel the same way. Anytime you're tying a knot, you could make it into knot work, especially if you're creating these beautiful corn husk dolls with a specific intention.
Yep.
It adds multiple layers, and I love the fact that we're doing this on a full moon day. Full moon. So Yeah.
I-
Okay,
yeah,
Diana, I'm
I
going to
couldn't
put
have
you in the
picked
hot
a
seat.
better day.
Yeah.
So if you want your arms to stay in a position and not just be springy, give them a tie that you're going to clip open once they're dry, and then they'll be
oh,
more
nice
relaxed.
idea.
And
That's a
keep,
good idea.
you know, keep working
Uh-huh.
as it dries so that you have that natural shape. Then you can fill her arms with something to hold, like a basket,
Uh-huh.
right? So I'm going to
Mhm.
put a little tie on this one.
And yeah, it's a super full moon.
Yeah,
So-
Hunter Moon, Diana's moon.
Huh. It's almost like you were named after her or something like that.
Or something.
Or something, you know. Who
We had
knows?
two hunters in a row.
That's right.
So when I'm going to work with it a little bit just to try and keep a curve in that elbow. And
Mhm.
when it's dry, even if it relaxes a little bit and springs out a little bit, that's fine. Can hold a puppy or, anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she wanted to close up again. I got to get back in there.
And Annie Bear was sharing, you boil the corn silk because it settles tummies.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yes, the tea. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. This is great. This is great.
I love corn chips, especially when they're so thin that they break in the dip.
Yep.
Then you get to get it by a spoon.
Yeah.
And, all right, I have an Elmer's glue bottle here. That's not going to work, but I have Aleene's. So because it keeps wanting to close back up, I'm just going to put this in here to help keep it splayed out until it's dry.
And it probably won't take very long to dry. It'll probably be dry tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's practically dry now.
Yeah. It's also a significant day for the Arcturians, isn't it? I don't know. And Leah shared the Bulgarians have a tradition on March 1st when they make a martinicha. It's a red and white bracelet that is prayed over and put on a wrist. Each knot you make one wish.
Martinicha.
Yeah. But Annie Bear is saying, beauty hurts.
Oh, my grandmother, that Victorian queen over there, suffered to be beautiful. Oh my God. Really? Do I have to? I'd rather run barefoot. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheryl said that she's so pretty, Angela.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. So mine is like, okay, watch out for this to happen. Watch out for this to happen.
Well, and here's the other thing is if you get, this would be something I would make multiples of, because the first time you make it, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
Right.
The second time you make it, it's a learning process. And the third time you make it, you've learned how to do it. Whether or not it works out, it's something different.
Well, and when not to fight it.
That's
when
true.
You start fight, you've got to allow. It's like operating a paintbrush. The paintbrush bristles have a mind of their own.
That's
So
true.
you've got to, feel the flow.
Yes. Annie Bear said, I saw the sun as an eye today, posted pic on my community page.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Oh, and Annie, I forgot to retract the streaming live on my channel. I was trying to get this to stream from here so that we could all be live at the same time. And,
you're learning.
Operator failure.
It's fine. So, yeah, no matter what you're doing, let your tools do their job.
Right.
Yes.
And then I'll put a headband on her, and I'll get one of Groucho's green feathers and put that in her headband.
Oh, nice. Good idea.
Nice. And he said, yesterday I worked in from the garden, moved decorations around, was friendly with neighbors. Things are going to be all right.
Yes, they
I
are.
like that. Yes.
I agree.
Yes. Yes. Okay, and we have the gluing of the corn silk.
Yep. But
If the glue comes out.
You know how a trick I learned when I was teaching, put oil inside and
Oh,
it
okay.
will never clog. It will never clog.
Wow,
I guess he
already.
doesn't do that anymore.
I'm going to put us like this. So, Angela, you can show your doll
Yeah,
too.
please.
Okay, I was just starting to put a headband on, but I've got her hands so they'll dry in a position where she could hold something. And I put a
Nice.
scarf on her. And I was thinking of adding a headband so that I could stick some decorations in it. Stick a feather,
That's beautiful.
a couple other little things. But it turned out pretty good for the first one.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
That's the Virgo making it perfect right from the beginning. My darling friend.
Imagine that.
Not surprised. I rely on her for all of that.
So I want to post a couple of more of the pictures because this is part of that process again, where on the right side it's attaching the arms, and then here you can actually see where the arms are going into play, and it's really secure there on the right.
Yeah.
And then you end up with something like this.
Yep.
Which, if you're Diana, oil painter, you can have decorations like this around.
Yo.
And there's the one she showed us there, the one where the dog got a little bit friendly with it.
Now, the other two were gifts because people decided they need to bring them to me too. So.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So.
And I collect antiques, so it's not hard to please me. If it's screaming at you, bring it.
Yep.
There you go.
It's a friendly ghost.
There you go.
I can do that.
So.
How to do that.
So this is a great practice and it's a great process. I encourage everybody to, because this is a laugh and learn and a magic tool talk. We learned a little bit in the beginning from Diana about the history and the tale. You can find some more information about the tales.
Yeah.
I encourage you to do that. And I also encourage you to think about how you could use this with your magic. How might this?
Got an idea.
You've already got an idea?
Yes, for someone you wish well, you would make a doll and put an intention with each of your knots, and maybe even to help them through something. Like my granddaughter is in graduate school.
Awesome.
So I would do one for her having finals coming up.
Oh, yes.
Because she likes to freak out during finals.
Oh, I've never done that.
No. How many cups of coffee and
yeah, there you
pot
go.
of coffee and your neighbor's Ritalin.
There you go. Pamela Batchelor said, I'm sorry I was a bit late. Could you please reiterate some of the history of these corn husk dolls, please? So
well, I can if you want me to do it, or Joe, would you like to do that?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
Okay. They are Native American to begin with. And it is nationwide, countrywide, as far as the US and South America go, because corn grew freely here. Corn didn't grow on the other side of the world until the European settlers started to come here, fell in love with corn, eating it, using it as a grain, and the dolls, which were already in practice.
Mhm.
Now, there's several different legends, but it all boils down to the same thing. There are three sisters. The staples of the food for the Native American was corn, beans, and squash. Corn and squash did not grow on the other side of the world.
Mhm.
And the corn in the Ojibwa story, it is the corn princess who makes these dolls to be guardians for her children. And some of the other stories say that it was, Wakantanka that created the doll because the princess asked for it. And he said, sure. At any rate, this doll is put in charge of taking care of the children, being their guardian, playing with them, while the mom is in the fields doing the things that she needs to do for the tribe. And on her way to go take charge of the children the first time, she walks past a stream, a river, and sees her reflection. And she sits down, and I'm the most beautiful doll there is. And she just sits there and stares at herself. She stares at herself all day. At the end of the day, she goes home, and the princess says, well, how did you do with the kids? Oh, I didn't do anything with the kids. I saw myself in a river, and I had to just look at me. I'm so beautiful.
Mm.
So the princess forgives her, puts her to bed, and says, try again tomorrow. So the next day comes, and off she goes again. And she falls into love with herself in that reflection in the stream and doesn't go do her job. And it goes on day after day for enough time for the princess to become very frustrated.
We
So
don't want frustrated princesses.
No, we don't. You know what they say about the princess and the pea. So she works a little magic of her own and takes away the doll's eyes and the doll's face. And some legends say,
oh, I love it. She's frozen.
Of course. Mid-sentence.
Mid-sentence. And so, Beth Aspasia Rising. Okay. Beth Aspasia Rising said, corn maidens are a big archetype in the Hopi tradition.
Yeah.
So yes, Hypnicity, that was the cliffhanger. Let's see if she comes back in. There she is.
They keep saying, how can we improve your experience?
Well, and because she's frozen again. Okay. Beth had shared
no.
corn maidens are a big archetype in the Hopi tradition. So
all of them, there's 189 varieties of corn. Yes. And if you were not here, here's a few right here.
Yeah.
Call it Indian. Blue made the grain or ground the grain. And I have to work with, and she will have Groucho's feather. Now there's another thing I really like to do. And it is to take old pieces of crochet, doilies that are filled with holes, fabric that you're not going to use, and stiffen and turn wallboard paste. The dust, the mud that you would put on a seam, I use that stuff and I run the fabric through it and just what was I doing this time that it didn't like?
Well, so you create. Okay.
Yes. If you give me 1 second, I'll show you one of my journals where I've used it as a cover. It was my great grandmother's tablecloth.
I love it. And
And
Beth also shared the Hopi create beautiful corn maiden fetishes. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. So this was my great grandmother's tablecloth. And I did that process with this. And I also used that with a stencil to do the angel that's on the cover of the
Beautiful.
book.
Well, that is beautiful.
And here's one, it might be a little bit easier to see. This journal I did for Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
So I
nice.
lined it with paper first.
Mhm.
So you could really see the knotwork.
That's beautiful.
That's a German knotwork.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Polish.
one of the I want to go back is you were sharing the story about the princess, and she did her own magic and removed the eyes and the face.
Yes.
And then what?
And then the dolly was left with nothing else to do. She couldn't stare at herself. She had no eyes. And even if she had the eyes, she had no face.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't the most beautiful doll in the world, but she was the most enjoyable doll in the world because she was strong and sturdy and was able to hold up to a winter's worth of play.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
So there you go, Pamela. We got back there. I like that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
So, and then Groucho's feather will get in there as soon as it gets dry. And then I have the string. And as soon as I've got it secure, you know how there's feathers and braids and doohickeys and beads and stuff that Native American women would adorn their headdresses with. So I'm going to add some accoutrements to that.
I love that.
How's that for the word of the day?
There you go.
Accoutrement. All right. This has been great. Angela, you want to show yours a little again?
Please.
Okay.
Oh, it's got the feather.
Yep, I put a feather in her headband, and then she's got the pretty skirt. I just had to do that with the skirt.
Nice skirt. So those tamale leaves really make nice ones.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what I use for tamales. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would encourage you is if you are making these and you're going to want to recycle them as they would have, you're not going to be wanting to put glitter on them because glitter is not recyclable. You could get some of that. You can get some of the recycler glitter, so that's cool.
Well, you know, and there's two varieties. There's a plastic variety that they now use in schools so that the children don't eat glass. And then there's glass. German glass glitter is still available. Blumenschen is a website. They're in New Jersey, but they have a lot of old stock from Germany. And so you could get some of the really good stuff. And that you could throw in the fire because it's glass.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
So, it's a mineral.
And Janet Lee collects chicken feathers. And it's beautiful, Angela. And Pamela would love to make tamale. And Amanda makes tamales. And I would love to make, I love tamales.
Me too.
If I could get them at a restaurant, I judge the restaurant on the tamales.
Absolutely.
So, but anyhow, so this has been wonderful. This has been a laugh and learn about corn husk dolls. And hopefully it gave you some information that will encourage you to explore more. Maybe make one. It'd be great if you made one and we could see it. So, Angela, did we meet the expectations of the show for you?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And
can I show one more variety of a doll?
Yes.
Yeah, as if I'm going to say no.
You can't. I'm doing it anyway. So this, can you see her? This
Yes.
is, my mother passed away, and my mother did local theater. So one of her favorite things was to always add a scarf, right? So I inherited her scarves. I took them and made them into a dress. I took Fimo to create the head and carved that, baked it, attached it to cross sticks, and then put the little mementos of her.
I love that.
Oh, that's nice.
That's beautiful.
And I'm sitting here looking at a doll that my grandmother made for my mother for her wedding. 2 seconds for me to get that, because this has got my mother's hair on it. The first haircut from when she was a baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And it's from the tulle from her bridal veil. My grandmother helped make it. It's the satin from her dress, as well as the lace that was used. Her real hair from her haircut when she was about, I don't know, maybe 4 at the most. And my grandmother did this pretty much the same way you would do a corn doll.
Wow. I love that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And Pamela said of the other one, wow, that's some magic in that doll.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did another one for Timmy McHiggins from Hocus Pocus. He's particular to Halloween, but they're almost always in this room because there's dolls galore in this room. They talk to me.
I love it. So, all right. Everyone, thank you for being here. Please make sure
Thank you.
Make sure that you give the video a thumbs up, that you like and subscribe. Diana will be putting this on her channel, so when it's there, please leave a nice comment. So this is beautiful. And so we will say farewell to everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you.